approximately 1 in 7 Americans suffers from hearing loss. That's more than 40 million people. Though poor hearing is often dismissed as nothing but an inconvenience, leaving it untreated can have a large impact on your overall health and well-being. Hi, I'm Matt with My Hearing Centers. Untreated hearing loss has been linked to multiple health problems, including an accelerated risk of cognitive decline and an increased risk of dementia, Alzheimer's, and even Parkinson's. My Hearing Centers is here to help. Call 541-663-4451 to schedule a free hearing evaluation. If your appointment reveals that you could benefit from hearing aids, you'll be able to try the latest hearing aid technology risk-free for 30 days. This technology is nearly invisible.
Can we have a roll call, Keela?
Matt Barber, absent excused. Corey Brewster. Steve Clements.
Here.
Corrine Dudo, absent excused. David Glabe.
Here.
Nicole Howard.
Here.
Molly King, absent excused. Max Koltov.
Here.
Marianne Miesner.
Here.
Roxy Ogilvy, absent excused. Justin Rock.
Here.
Denise Wheeler.
Here.
Joya Wong, absent excused.
Thank you. This meeting of the City LeGrand Urban Renewal District Budget Committee is for the sole purpose of approving the minutes of May 15th, 2023 Urban Renewal District Budget Hearing. And with that, do I have a motion for the consent agenda?
I mean, we,
We approve the urban renewal district budget hearing minutes. Oh, you did that. You guys consensus, right? Oh, I move you accept the consent agenda as presented.
Perfect.
Thank you.
second, sure.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
At this time, I will adjourn the City LeGrand Budget Committee regular session.
It was the Urban Renewal Budget Committee. So you just
That's what I
adjourned.
meant. Sorry. Thank you.
It is the most complex series of agendas that we do once a
Too
year, whether
short.
we need to or not.
All right. Welcome once again. And on this one is LeGrand Budget Committee regular session. Can we have a roll call, please?
Yep, Mayor, if you would call the meeting to order first.
I'm sorry. I would like to call the meeting to order. Now, can we have a roll call, please?
Matt Barber, absent excused. Corey Brewster. Steve Clements.
Here.
Corrine Dudo, absent excused. David Glabe.
Here.
Nicole Howard.
Here.
Molly King, absent excused. Max Koltov.
Here.
Marianne Miesner.
Here.
Roxy Ogilvy, absent excused. Justin Rock.
Here.
Denise Wheeler.
Here.
Joya Wong, absent excused.
This meeting of the City of LeGrand's Budget Committee is for the sole purpose of approving the minutes from the May 15th and 16th, 2023 City General Enterprise and other fund budget hearings. With that, do I have anybody who wants to entertain a motion?
I move we accept the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Perfect. It has passed. At this time, I will adjourn this portion of the meeting and move on. Are we going to be going into urban renewal versus the city?
We are going to do the Urban Renewal Agency first.
Thank you. I would like to call to order. And with that, can we have a roll call?
Justin Rock.
Here.
David Glabe.
Here.
Corrine Dudo, absent excused. Nicole Howard.
Here.
Molly King, absent excused. Marianne Miesner.
Here.
Denise Wheeler.
Here.
Thank you. With that, is there any adjustments we need to make to the agenda?
No, it's good.
Now we'll move on to the consent agenda. Do I have a motion?
I move we approve the consent agenda, which consists of the regular session minutes and the 2023-24 Exhibit A, which is the Urban Renewal Agency City Intergovernment Agreement, for those who might not know what we have on the consent agenda.
Perfect. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right. On this portion is the public comment. So any individual that would like to address the council on any urban renewal agency business that is not on the agenda, this is the time. And with that, we are going to set a 3-minute time limit. Do we have anybody that would like to address the urban renewal agency? Nope. All right, we'll move on to public hearings. All right. The public hearing is now open on the fiscal year 2023-2024 Urban Renewal District budget as approved by the Urban Renewal District Budget Committee on May 15, 2023. Also, at this time, I would like to ask for any declarations or conflicts of interest. I would like to speak up on that one. I do have a declaration that my company does towing for the city of LeGrand, but it is not going to affect anything I do or vote on these matters. Is there anybody else? With that, can we have a staff report?
Thank you, Mayor, members of the agency. So the Budget Committee for the Urban Renewal District did meet and reviewed the budget, and it was approved. There was a small change to it. We had a $35,000 amount that had been allocated as a transfer in between the Urban Renewal Debt and General Fund, because in the city's economic development budget, there's $35,000 of general fund money that is their city of general fund money that should have been reduced from the transfer amount between the debt fund and the general fund of urban renewal. And then the payment from the urban renewal agency to the city of LeGrand for services. And so that was a correction that was made at the beginning of the budget committee, and I just wanted to highlight that. And so with that change, the Urban Renewal Agency's budget committee approved the budget, which now comes to the agency for adoption. The agency can adopt the budget. You can reduce the budget, but you cannot increase appropriations more than 10% without going through an additional action. And there's nothing that the staff is recommending in terms of changes to the urban renewal budget. Couple of just highlights. The budget does include our capital projects, public-private partnership. Those include $350,000 for non-business park call for projects, and that cycle is open right now, just coming to a close. In fact, I think I saw the draft staff reports today. There is $500,000 of agency-initiated project dollars that's being carried forward from prior years. $75,000 for the facade program, and then also all carried forward $425,000 in total for the new traded sector business park incentive. And that was the new policy that was enacted, where we essentially took the $200,000 of traded sector money that had been carried forward for a number of years, and $425,000 of current year, $225,000 of current year business park call for project money. Those two were combined, and the program was reconfigured to allow for up to $500,000 of award dependent upon the project. So those are the major capital dollars. The agency has not made a decision on what, if anything, to fund with that $500,000. That will be a later conversation, but those dollars are being carried forward to provide for that flexibility. And we did not receive any additional comments related to the urban renewal budget. And I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Robert. And if there is no questions at this time, I would like to invite public testimony. All in favor?
Wait.
Oh, did I?
You're inviting public testimony. Is there?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's in favor.
Does anybody want to provide public testimony regarding the urban renewal budget? If not, go ahead.
Very well. At this time, I'd like to close the public hearing on the fiscal year 2023-2024 Urban Renewal District budget and invite agency discussion.
I think all the questions were answered during the budget hearings.
I agree. With that, a motion?
I move that the proposed resolution adopting the fiscal year 2023 to 2024 Urban Renewal District budget be read by title only, put to vote and passed.
Second.
All right. At this time, can the city recorder read the proposed resolution by title only?
A resolution of the Urban Renewal Agency of the City of LaGrande, Union County, Oregon, adopting the fiscal year 2023-2024 budget, making appropriations and levying taxes.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Nope. Passed.
Thank you.
Unfinished business, we have none. New business, we have none. District manager comments.
I have nothing. Thank you.
Thank you. Agency member comments? At this time, I'd like to adjourn to the city council regular session. Perfect, thank you. I'd like to call to order. Can we have a roll call, Kayla?
Justin Rock,
Yes.
David Glabe,
Yes.
Corrine Dudo, absent excused, Nicole Howard. Here. Molly King, absent excused, Mary Ann Meisner.
Here.
Denise Wheeler. Here.
So we're going to go at the end to,
Yeah, it would be appropriate to comment about the fact that the council will be adjourning to executive session.
perfect, thank you. The City of LaGrande City Council will meet in an executive session pursuant to ORS 192.6602D to conduct deliberations with personal designation by government body to carry on labor negotiations at the end of the meeting. Is that correct, Rob?
It is.
Thank you. All right. Is there any addition or changes we need to do to the agenda?
No, but you do have a folder that has materials for the executive session that was on the dais.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a motion on the consent agenda, or do we have changes?
I move we accept the consent agenda as presented.
Is there a second?
Oh, second.
Perfect. All in favor? Aye. Perfect. We are on to public comment. At this time is the time that anybody that is here to speak to the council on non-agenda items is the time. You do have a 3-minute time limit, so if you would like to speak, please step up to the podium and
Mayor, if I could, Donna, probably during the budget hearing would be more appropriate for your request.
thank you. And anybody else? Nope. Perfect. Thank you. At this time, I would like to open the public comment, or public hearing, I'm sorry. The public hearing is now open on the fiscal year 2023-2024 City of LaGrande budget and state revenue sharing, as approved by the City of LaGrande's Budget Committee on May 16, 2023. At this time, we would like to ask for declarations or conflicts of interest. Once again, I will state that I do have a conflict of interest with the city portion of the budget. I do own a business that does do business with the city, so I will not be voting on any of the matters. I will continue running the meeting, but I will not be voting. Is there anybody else? Nope. And with that, Mr. Robert, can we have a report?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. So just a couple of things. So the city council meets in a retreat and sets goals and priorities for the coming year. And based on that, staff works to prepare a requested budget that is then provided to me. I meet with the department directors and then prepare what is called the proposed budget, which then goes to the budget committee for consideration. The budget committee approves that budget, and then it comes to the city council for final adoption. And just as with the Urban Renewal Agency, the city council can reduce appropriations, but cannot increase appropriations in any fund by more than 10% without doing some additional work. And we're not asking for any changes to any of the city's budgets in that regard from the staff's perspective. As part of preparing the budget and readying ourselves for the budget committee's hearing, we asked the budget committee to submit any questions that they have in advance to allow staff an opportunity to provide some in-depth responses. And our practice has been that those questions and answers are not only provided in advance to the budget committee, but also are posted on the city's website. And so I believe there are 3 or 4 memos that identify 40-odd questions that were submitted by the budget committee in advance. We actually went over those during the budget committee hearing. And again, they're still posted on the city's website. We found that that really saves quite a bit of time and also provides, we think, a lot more transparency in terms of what the questions and answers were, because anybody can jump on the city's website and take a look at them. With the general fund budget for this coming year, the largest change is we have requested and the budget committee has approved the addition of 3 new firefighter positions. And in full disclosure, we have made a conditional offer for one of those 3 positions. And the council was made aware of that by email, because we also received grant funding to pay for a portion of that one additional position, and it has to be a new position. But if the city council were to not vote to adopt the budget with those 3 positions, what our response would be is we would just simply not fill a position. We do have some vacancies within the fire department, so I don't want the council to feel compelled to adopt the budget with all 3 of those positions without having first heard from the public in regards to that. But I did want to make sure that everybody was aware of this circumstance. The budget message, which I think is about 4 pages, is also posted on the website along with the full budget with all of the explanations. We went through that, I think, in pretty good detail with the budget committee. And I'll be happy to answer any additional questions that you may have.
With none, I would like to invite public testimony in connection with the fiscal year 2023-2024 City of LeGrand budgets and state revenue sharing.
This is your time.
Hi there, Donna Beveridge, Union, Oregon. I'm here as the City of Union Chamber President. And we are putting on the 4th of July celebration that used to be at the college. And so I've been going to all the cities and asking if they want to help pay for the fireworks. I don't look at this as just another event in Union County. This is a national event where we celebrate our freedom. So I want to give every city the opportunity to share in that and to be a sponsor. And so Also, East Oregon University has also donated and become a sponsor this year, so that's been great. So I am here tonight to ask if the city of LaGrande would be willing to donate $2,000 towards those fireworks. Any questions?
I do. One question, we used to go ahead and donate money. Are you still getting a funding from the city and from individuals? Are you still getting donations and so forth?
Yes, we're going around getting donations.
Okay.
That's correct. The city of Union, because it's in the city of Union, what they do is they take so much money out of their economic development, their general fund for economic development.
Okay.
They actually give it to the Union Chamber to put out to whoever applies for it. And then at the end of the year, the Union Chamber gives them a report, and that saves them from having to, at every meeting, have people, come and ask for money. So, but I know in LaGrande you don't do that. So that's why I wanted to come and ask you guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
If somebody did want to donate, as an individual, they just contact the chamber?
Yep, there's posters on the Union County Chamber is helping with it.
Okay.
And so it's on the Union County Chamber website. It's on the City of Union website. It's on, so we're pretty much trying to buckle it up because 4th of July is almost here. Because I'd like to next Monday go ahead and order the banners for the sponsors. So I was in North Powder last night and they're going to give money towards it too. But I just kind of want to button it up because it's sneaking up on us.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank
If
you.
we were to give money to them, what fund would it come out of?
We don't have any dollars budgeted for
I know
these
we
types
don't.
of expenditures. It would have to come out of the city council, city manager personnel budget, out of the city's general fund. We would not be able to use transient room tax dollars, and we would not be able to use urban renewal dollars.
We can't use TRT dollars because it is not a heads-on beds situation.
Yeah, it's this people aren't going to travel more than 50 miles and have an overnight stay for the fireworks, is the take that I would have on it. It's a local event designed for the locals.
If they pitch it as a national event, is it a national event?
The dollars would have to go towards advertising and promoting the event, not for the fireworks themselves.
Thank you.
Thank you, Don.
Steve Clements. I'd like to comment on your budget. First, I'd like to say I support the idea of the 3 new firefighters. As chair of the budget committee, I thought that was one of the better elements of the budget, and the fact that you've got a grant and covers at least one of those positions is supportive. I'd also like to reiterate what I said at the budget hearing, is that the City Council of LaGrande has a long history, 8 years or more, probably pushing 12 to 16, of not giving to private requests for money, and such as the one that just came from Mrs. Bedfridge. It used to happen, and it became a real mess, because once you gave money to one group, somebody else came the next year, and pretty soon there were 5 or 6 groups coming and asking for money. And we didn't have a process, we didn't have a way to vet, we didn't have any idea what the money, no feedback or anything on where the money went and how it got used. That said, if you were to consider giving money to the fireworks program, I'd like to know what all the other communities donated as well. And I would not advocate giving more than any of those individual communities gave. So if North Powder gave $500 and Elgin gave $500, then LaGrande should give $500. I would not give any more than what the maximum from any city came from. So, thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Because in the past, when LaGrande had the fireworks, it was all done volunteer. I think it was all donated money from the citizens.
But individually, yes, it was a.
Because they used to have a
fundraiser.
bank that you could give to, because that's what I used to do.
Yeah, When it was in the city of LeGrand, the city of LeGrand did not financially.
That's right, that's what I mean. It came from private.
Yeah,
Did we solicit surrounding cities when it was here?
No, it was a privately done organization.
Yeah, it was not a city event. It was not.
Gotcha.
Any more public comments? With none, at this time, I'd like to close the public hearing of the fiscal year 2023, 2024 City of LeGrand budgets and state revenue sharings and invite counselor discussion. A motion?
I move that the proposed resolution adopting the fiscal year 23-24 budget and levying taxes be read by title only, put to a vote, and passed as presented.
Second.
Do we need any more additional counselor discussion?
I guess I just want to state that since LeGrand has never given to this fund and it's always been privately funded, that's how I feel that it should stay.
Thank you, Mary. Any more discussion? At this time, can we have the city recorder to read proposed resolution by title only?
A resolution of the City Council of the City of LeGrand, Union County, Oregon, adopting the fiscal year 2023-2024 budget, making appropriations and levying taxes.
All in favor?
Aye.
I am abstaining from the vote. And now we are going to move on to entertaining a motion on the state revenues. Is that correct, Robert?
Yes, sir.
Do we have a motion?
I will, since I get there. No.
Perfect.
Go ahead.
I move that the proposed resolution electing to receive state revenues be read by title only, put to a vote, and passed.
Thank you.
Second.
At this time, can we have the city recorder to read the proposed resolution election to receive state revenues by title only?
A resolution of the City Council of the City of LeGrand, Union County, Oregon, declaring the city's intent to receive state revenues.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That is it.
Unanimous to me.
All right, we're going to move on to new business because there is no unfinished business. Considering resolution to continue the general fund reserve fund. With that, it's going to be Heather.
It is. Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. What you have before you is a resolution just continuing on the General Reserve Fund. This is a fund that we have set up for the general fund to put dollars aside for capital needs. I have a worksheet that I keep, and based on what the departments have said they want to save money towards. So this is pursuant to the ORS 294346 that were required every 10 years to kind of renew this General Reserve Fund. Any questions?
Thank you, Heather. At this time, I'd like to invite public comments. There are none. Councilor discussion.
I think this is a great fund to continue to support.
I agree. Motion.
I move the proposed resolution establishing the need for the continuation of a general reserve fund be read by title only, put to vote, and passed.
Second.
Any more additional councilor discussion? No? Can we have the city recorder to read the proposed resolution by title only?
A resolution of the City Council of the City of LeGrand, Union County, Oregon, establishing the need for the continuation of a general reserve fund for the acquisition, construction, reconstruction, and the furnishing of municipal buildings and for the purchase and repairs of equipment and fixtures in municipal buildings.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Union County Commissioner update. Commissioner Scarfo, how are you this evening?
Very well, thank you. Good evening, Mayor and councilors. I got a few updates for you. Legislatively, the Senate is still not convening. There are rumors that they're negotiating right now and hopefully get back together and finish the budget. For budget wise, the county is going to hopefully finalize on the 28th. If you'd like to come to that meeting, it'll be at 9 a.m. and we'll be doing the same thing that you guys just did. It's kind of serendipitous, you know, Commissioner Beveridge was trying to get $2,000 from you guys. Well, I'm going to actually offer you guys $2,000. We were going through our budget, and the county budgets money for cleanup days for cities, and we offer each city a match up to $2,000. And notice that you guys haven't had a cleanup day in a while, to even come and ask for the $2,000. So I thought I'd bring it to your guys' attention. So if you ever want to do a cleanup day, we offer a match up to $2,000. Now, don't you feel bad for not giving Donna $2,000?
Well, you know, Main Street did a cleanup day, but that was for downtown.
For cities, if they want
It has
to,
to be the whole city.
yeah. So the city of LeGrand, if the city of LeGrand wants to get with LeGrand Main Street or whoever's doing it, you have to come in front of us and say, yes, we would like to get some of that match money.
Okay.
So if you missed out, I'm sorry. Next time, please come, and I thought I'd bring it to your guys' attention. Maybe you guys did not know about it, and I apologize. That should have been my bring it to your attention.
Good information.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. And then next Wednesday, or this upcoming Wednesday, June 14th, we have the Greater Idaho meeting, and it will be held in the Meisner Room, not in our normal quarters. Excuse me. So just in case we get a big turnout, we shall see. So if you'd like to attend, it'll be at 9 a.m. in the Meisner Room. That's in the clerk's office, tax assessor's office, in that room over there. And if there's anything else, any questions?
No, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you guys.
Staff comments. Do we have any staff that would like to make comments? Now is the time.
Now's the time. Hi, good evening, Mayor and Council. So summer's here, busy for Parks and Recreation, right? So Touch a Truck is this Saturday downtown. We're gonna block off most of Adams Avenue from here to there, from there to here. And Public Works is bringing a bunch of trucks down. We've got lots of different trucks for kids to look at and play with and learn about what we do, not just with the city. Police and fire will be there. OTEC will be there. On and on and on. There'll be food trucks and other activities going on as well. It's a partnership with LeGrand Main Street downtown as well. And maybe somebody's idea in the room. Scott, yeah. Riverside concerts are back again, starting in late June into August. Thursday evenings. The Morgan Lake Regatta is happening again. If you don't know what that is, it's a concert, but also a boat race this year at Morgan Lake. It's going to be hilarious and epic. That is July 22nd, and on and on and on. Right, the Grand Tour bike ride from here to Baker and back, a supported ride for cyclists is happening soon. Next weekend maybe, or soon, June 18th. So lots and lots and lots. LeGrandParks.org happening now. Busy season. Good stuff. Let alone the pool and the summer hours and the splash pads opening and the new concessions we have at the pool, a new sort of party scene happening there too. So you can come check that out. Any questions?
I do. Do you
Yes.
have could you mention a bunch? People like to have a hard copy. I know you have it on the website, but some places that we could put in, like in businesses and stuff like that, just to let people know that these activities are happening.
We used to, but no, we don't, because the master plan, people don't want hard copies.
Oh, okay. Because I know we
many
put
of
things
them
up in our office and people always ask.
Sure, if you like. It just depends. The people that completed the master plan surveys said, no, we don't want paper information. So we didn't do it because it's costly, right? And if they didn't want it, so there you go.
But it's easy to download off the website.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Everything's easy.
Awesome.
Right there, sure.
Okay.
Mobile friendly, all that jazz. But yes.
Okay.
Stu, I was down walking along the Riverside Park Trail there. I know we've got some plans to make some changes to that this summer, but I guess I'm wondering, I realized that what happened with Island City was unfortunate, but I've wondered if there have been any attempts at reaching out to, the change in leadership that's occurred over there and, finding out, is there any interest? Boy, I think it'd be great if that would continue on past our city boundaries.
Yeah, it's a good question. When that was happening, the county commissioners were juggling, right? There were some longtime commissioners retiring and other ones coming in that are in the room now. And the discussion at that time was this should be a county project because it's not in, there's no part of that property except for one piece that's Island City property now. It's a conversation I don't think the commissioners have heard or had a request for, other than maybe some one-offs. You guys can probably comment on that, but there's been no official reach out from us. We're going to complete our loop here by fall, and I don't know what else to tell you.
So here's a hypothetical. When we finish that loop, there's nothing that would deter us from, if there was interest on the county end of continuing that past. I mean, we can still have our little loop and then keep it going, right?
That was the whole point. So it wouldn't stop an extension.
Okay.
The next lot to the east belongs to Island City. And then there are some private property owners in there that kind of mix in, which kind of stopped that project in the first place. So in the end, I think it's a worthy conversation for somebody to bring up. I don't think the city has not provided, the council has not provided any direction for me to do that or for the city manager to do that since they canceled that project. But something to think about.
Robert, what would it take for us to make a formal request to maybe have that looked into? What would be the best channel?
By consensus, you could just direct me to reach out to the county commissioners about having that conversation.
Okay.
If I get, 4 or more nodding heads, I'll be happy to reach out to the commissioners. So I count 2, 3.
Sure.
Great.
So,
Hey, Commissioner Scarfo.
so I happen to be here.
Council's asked me to reach out to the county.
Yeah. So just to clarify, that was my first year being county commissioner with the Greenway project, and I attended all the meetings there in Island City. It did pass in Island City. They did approve the Greenway project. The funding was not there. The state, they voted on the D, which was the 3 or 4 bridges, and it was something over $4 million. The money that was from the ODOT connectivity grant was only like 1.2. So if you want to go to the Island City minutes, they did approve of it happening, but there was just not enough money.
Now, I was at that meeting and that's not what happened.
Okay, I'll bring the minutes if you'd like.
Yeah, they definitely didn't approve it. They said it was not their purview. Am I misunderstanding? I mean, I thought it was clear as day.
Yeah, so there were 2 components. The grant that Island City turned back.
That was the
The route for that, it was, I think, a Connect 4 grant. The dollars for that had a specific route that it would fund. And that's what was turned back because the working group was looking at a different route that would actually cross the river twice. And that's the $4 million that Commissioner Scarfer was talking about. And so I don't know what the specific vote was, but the bottom line was Island City did not move forward with the funding that was there, and there was not enough funding to do a second route, which would have crossed the river twice. So
I think it'd be great to continue this discussion at a different time, not in a public setting, but I think it's a great idea to get together and discuss it though. But I appreciate that, and we will continue on with our staff report or staff comments.
Q&As. We're doing Q&A right now. Anything else? Okay. Thanks.
Keep up the good work, staff. There's Stu.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and councilors. I just wanted to share a few things with you. On May 12th, after our last council meeting, Officer Garrett Jones graduated from the Basic Police Academy, and he is done with training, and he is out taking calls in a solo status. So we're really excited about that. That leaves us with one police officer vacancy right now, and we're in the late stages of a selection process. So we're hoping to be able to fill that position soon. Other staffing that's going on, we have 2 911 dispatchers who are very long-time employees, both 20 plus years, that are going to be retiring in July of this year. So we're working on trying to find replacements for them. And then on May 15th, we hosted the law enforcement memorial ceremony at the police department again. Mr. Mayor and Commissioner Scarfo, thank you for your participation in that ceremony. During that ceremony, we recognized Corporal Gary Biasi, who was a LeGrand police officer who died in the line of duty in 1982 due to a training accident. So anyway, that's important that we remember those folks. And so Corporal Biasi was one of 4 total in Union County who have lost their lives in the line of duty in service to our public. And then on May 23rd, Chief Cornford can weigh in on this if he would like, but both he and I and members of our staff and quite a number, you may have read about this locally, but quite a number of public service agencies got together for a wildfire simulation exercise. It was very, very beneficial. It provided Chief Cornford and I an opportunity to work together, and members of our staff working together to exercise our emergency alert and evacuation plan that we have in the city of LeGrand. I'll share a little bit with you about that. The scenario started with a fire out just west of Union. It ended up crossing the freeway and then moving north across Glass Hill, and then basically threatened the city of LeGrand from the South Hills, and then moved around the city of LeGrand on the west side of town. It was a horrible scenario, something that we don't ever want to have happen, but it was entirely appropriate. It was organized and led by Willie Crippen from Oregon Department of Forestry. He came and talked to you here a few months ago, and our emergency manager, Nick Vora. They did an incredible job. So I just wanted to share with you that sometimes behind the scenes we're working on these things, but it was a very well done exercise, and we took a lot away from it. So anyway, if you got any questions for the police department, I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Hello, Chief.
Hello. I have a little addition to my email I sent you about our staffing. I forgot to mention that our 3 most recent hires that one of them actually just went off probation today, were hired in the last year. They all 3 started their paramedic program this last month. So in about 15 months, we'll have 3 more paramedics. And in addition to what Chief Bell said, it was a great drill, and we saved the city of LeGrand. So.
Very good news, Chief. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other staff would like to make any comments this evening? And no? City manager comments.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. You're getting a bit of a reprieve. You had quite the meeting and work session schedule for the last few months. Your next scheduled session is July 10th, which is the joint meeting to consider call for projects as the agency. And then our regular meeting is on July 12th. So enjoy the 4th. And I'll have more things to say when we get to the next stuff on the agenda. That's it.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of June too. Thank you.
All right, we will move on to city councilor comments. Denise, do you have anything this evening you would like to say?
Well, going back to the fireworks, I've been thinking about the fireworks. I do know, I remember when I first moved here, they had that thermometer and people would donate and it would go up and then when we know this, we were low, people just went, "Ooh," donated and so forth. I don't, and I understand where Marianne was coming from. Then, more and more people, no, actually, Clemens mentioned more and more people come, but I'm just thinking as a city, I mean, we need to support some of these things. This is like we should have a contingency plan or, a little buffer here and there that we could use. I don't know. That's kind of my opinion. I do understand that we did not donate before. I did personally, but everybody benefits when we have things like this. People support Hog Wild Days, everything, and I don't know. That's just kind of my opinion. I just wish we could do something. I know we don't have that budget, but I'm just going to let you know I'm going to donate. So there you go. So
Perfect.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Thank you. Miss Marianne?
I do have a couple things. I attended the Northeast Oregon Housing Authority meeting, our quarterly meeting, and on July 5th, excuse me, I think 3 buildings are going to open up out at Timber Ridge. And they already have, I think they're probably full, and then in August will be the last 2 buildings. I think I might have my numbers of how many buildings, because I think, are there 5 buildings? Does anyone know? 8 buildings. So that's, okay, the rest of them are supposed to open in August, I believe. Does that sound right to you? That's what they said, yeah, at the meeting. And they said they have no more plans to build any more complexes here in town. They feel that the housing should go to housing where people are, the workers that need housing, not for the low income. They think there's plenty of low income in town, and they're not looking at even considering any more complexes. And then I also attended the senior center meeting since I got put on that, since Gary left. And they're kind of just reorganizing themselves. They didn't have a chairman and they didn't really have a vice chairman yet, so they're trying to reorganize. And I know that one person commented on Willow Street, the big ruts, and I happened to see them and I talked to Kyle and he said they are working on it. They had dug up something there. And
you started working on it today, didn't you? Because I saw people out there working on it today. And I'm glad you put that sign slow because people were losing their hubcaps. Okay. Yeah.
It was gravel the other day, I know, when I went by.
Yeah. I have a friend that lives right across and they said they were working on it, so I don't know exactly what was done. Haven't gone that way.
And their other comment was the parking lot, but then I realized that belongs to the county because that building is theirs. But their parking lots, they were saying that there are a lot of the elderly people who are tripping on some of the cracks and so forth. So I turned that over to Matt though already. That's all I have.
Thank you, Marianne. Nicole? Dave?
Just a thank you to the city staff. I mean, Gary didn't choose to stand up, but libraries, got a lot of things. I've been watching their calendar, parks calendar, seeing what's going on, and I just am impressed with the city staff. I feel like our citizens can be proud of the way that they're represented there and what happens in the city. That's all I have to say.
Appreciate that.
Excellent.
I agree.
Do you know when that artwork is going to be completed? Does anyone know that?
Stu would know.
One for the
By
library.
the library?
Yeah.
October? Okay.
He's in the middle of it, halfway done manufacturing it, and then he'll bring here and install it.
Okay, thank you, Stu.
No, I would just like to add it to Dave's and thank all of our staff. We've done an amazing job this year. Definitely between the staff and Robert, all the work you've put in to accomplish the budget. You guys done an amazing job. And I'd just like to say thank you because I know it takes a lot of time. And with that, we are going to recess to a executive session.
Yeah, we're going to return, I'm thinking 15 or 20 minutes. The target time. Any questions yet? So we will be back.
All right, and welcome back. So we are going to consider ratifying the collective bargaining agreements for the Grande Police Association and approve the executive summary for management for non-exempt employees. And with that, staff report, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. The last remaining bargaining agreement is to be approved by the council is with the police. Their membership has voted to ratify the agreement, and we've kept the council apprised as we've walked through this. The high points for the police agreement, it is a new 3-year agreement that will take effect on June 21st. And we are doing a slight increase in incentive pays that had not been increased for a number of years. We are providing a new incentive for employees who are fluent in Spanish, and there's a competency component that we go through and are using it on a frequent and recurring basis. There is an incentive pay for that, which we think is very helpful. And also, what I think is long overdue is an acknowledgement of the added responsibilities associated with being evidence technicians. And there's a process that the employee has to go through to get the training and certification to be able to do that. So when they're acting in that capacity, they would be receiving an additional pay associated with those additional duties, which can be substantial at times. We are increasing the shift differential for the dispatchers who are working between 4 p.m. and 4 a.m. It's actually 3:59 a.m. From 25 cents an hour to 50 cents an hour. We're hoping that that will be helpful with our retention, as is the restructure of the salary model that we have. The cost of living increase in year 1 is 5%, in years 2 and 3 is 2% each year. And we have that progression through the grade schedule so that at the end of 3 years, we're hoping that we're very close to market. We are behind with all of our groups, this one not being an exception. The other thing that we've added for this group that I think is now pretty consistent with the other groups is 24 hours of bereavement leave in the event of a death in the family. And we also incorporated a new article on paid family leave, Oregon paid leave. There's a provision where if an employee is using that, they can file for that. It's not the same as, but similar to workers' comp, and there's a compensation where they don't get all of their pay restored, and we're allowing that they can use their other paid time off to make them whole. And this will, if it's used by an employee, also save the city a little bit of money because they're being paid by the state. It's beneficial to the employee because they aren't having to use as much of their paid time off, and they are paying a portion of the premium towards that as the city does. So that's in this one as well, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have on that one.
Do we currently have a police officer? Do we currently have a police officer that is fluent in Spanish?
I believe we do.
And are we making any way of allowing others to get that?
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay. Then I just have one more. Did we remove the incentive part from the budget? I don't remember. For when the incentive was for recruiting.
Oh, yeah, we can no longer do that.
Okay.
Yeah, there was an exception to that during COVID where you could do that. The Equal Pay Act does not allow you to do those sorts of things because if you have comparable character work, you need to be compensated the same. So that type of a hiring incentive actually compensates someone who is doing the same job at a higher level. So unless the legislature puts that back in, we can no longer offer that as an incentive.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for the question.
Robert, just a quick one here, but you know, speaking of Spanish, I I don't know this for a fact, but I would guess we have probably more Marshallese speakers here in LeGrand than we do Spanish speakers. And so I'm curious, do we have anybody on police that can speak Marshallese? Or maybe should we look at that as an incentive rather than languages that may not be as much represented in our community?
Don't they have the call-in service?
We do. Yeah, so there's a tool that we have available where we can get interpreters on the phone as we need them. I can check on the language. I don't believe we have anyone fluent.
Okay. I mean, I'd just be curious. It seems like that maybe the demographics should drive where we're providing incentives for language.
Yeah, and this was actually a request from the association to add this as an incentive.
Okay.
So we can look at that.
Okay, so they're seeing a deficit there somewhere.
Yeah.
All right, and with that, I'd entertain a motion.
I move that we accept and that the city manager be authorized to execute the 3-year collective bargaining agreement between the city of LeGrand and the LeGrand Police Association as presented.
Second.
Any more councilor discussion? With that, I will ask for the vote. All in favor? Aye. Unanimous. And now we'll move on to the second motion.
Okay. So the management group and the non-exempt employees who are not represented by a union, we have a document that we prepare. It lays out the salaries and benefits for those employees so that it's consistent. And what we've historically done is, in conjunction with adopting the labor agreements, we also approve the plan for the coming 3 years so that we know exactly what's happening. The way that we tend to structure this is to try to make sure that the management group and the employees that they supervise are kept in sync with each other. And so we'll see in some cases, you'll have one group that will get a 1% COLA versus another group that gets a 2% COLA, and then they'll want to flip flop. And then what do we do with the management group? And so what we've done in this particular instance is the structure that is in place for the management group, as with all of our other bargaining groups, they're going to see a 5% cost of living increase in year 1, 2% in year 2 and year 3. The difference with the management group as compared to police that you just approved, as we move through that changing structure, the police positions don't move back a step at year 2 and year 3. For the management group in year 2, they don't move back. In year 3, they do. So it's a bit of a cost savings in year 3. And that included with a 1% increase in the retirement contribution that's included in this plan. I think it's pretty comparable, both from a cost to the city perspective and to benefit to the employees as compared to what the bargaining groups as a whole are receiving. And I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Robert.
You're welcome.
And with that, I would entertain a motion.
I move that we accept the recommended changes to the management exempt and non-exempt employees benefit and compensation plan as presented.
Second.
Any more councilor discussion? There's none. At this time, we will ask for a vote. All in favor? Aye. Passed.
Thank you.
And with that, we are adjourned.
Thank you, everyone.